What's up, it's Keegan, and I'm back again with another eye-popping build that's found a sweet spot on the fence between reportable and viable. I wanted to make something that focused on turning the game into a 4v4, and I found the easiest way to accomplish this was by playing Ivern and completely ruining the other jungler's career by denying him as many camps as humanly possible. But I don't just want to jack the other players' camps. After stealing everything they have and leaving them penniless, you're going to become a bushwhack and camp a bush like a Viet Cong preying on some unsuspecting American draftee, hence the name of the build, Bushwhack Ivern. If you're playing it properly, you'll have the enemy jungler's mental state looking more decimated than the Greek economy, and if he doesn't kill himself, at the very least he'll be rowing it down mid like Dom's teammates who've died twice in lane. With this build, you have a few choices for summoners, but Smite is a necessity, since you are still a jungler. The most generic summoner spells you can take is Smite and Flash, but if you want to really lay down the early kill pressure, I'd suggest taking Red Smite and Ignite to become Forest Fire Ivern. The other team's sight of themselves being slaughtered repeatedly by the double burn of your napalm strikes will permanently damage them, causing them to have severe PTSD attacks anytime they even attempt to play League. The mastery page is going to be the same as what you would run on every other AP burst assassin bruiser tank support AD carry. That means your page is going to look something like this. Be sure that you take both Wanderer and Explorer so you can fuck the enemy jungler wherever he tries to go, causing him to stray further and further from the light of God. Your rune page is going to be similar to what you would run on regular Ivern, but instead of attack speed reds, you're going to run 6 attack speed and 3 flat AP. And instead of magic resist blues, you're going to run 9 flat AP. And instead of scaling health yellows, you're going to run 9 flat AP. And instead of movement speed quints, you're going to run 3 flat AP. Ivern's abilities are pretty much perfect for completely fucking over the other jungler. Based off the fact that Riot allowed a champion that's this obnoxious and cancerous into the game, I can only assume that they hate their player base and enjoy seeing them get frustrated. And since I also hate League's player base and enjoy seeing them get frustrated, you better believe that I'm going to make full use out of it. The first thing I'm going to go over is his passive. It lets you place some type of circle around a camp, allowing you to either smite it to instantly clear it, or wait a few seconds, then again, instantly clearing it while taking almost no damage. After level 5, his passive will also make some type of glowing orb appear on the ground after clearing a buff that allows a teammate to pick it up to also receive the buff. So it's safe to assume that Ivern is one of the few Jewish champions in League, since there isn't a single other champion that's able to secure a 2-for-1 deal on buffs like he is. His Q is called Root Collar. Ivern throws a root that should look something like Zyra-E, but instead looks like some sort of green sperm cells helixing across each other. Whenever it hits a target, it impregnates them with magic damage, roots them, and allows teammates to dash to them. Next is Brushmaker, his W. It literally does exactly what the name says. It makes a bush. It's kind of like Snake's cardboard box, but instead of being only for stealth, it makes your auto attacks ranged and deal bonus magic damage. Ivern's E is the absolute pinnacle of creativity and originality from Riot. This ability introduces a fresh mechanic to the game that lets you shield players that aren't yourself. Some of you are probably wondering how that's any different from lame-ass Janna, and the answer to that is because the shield can also explode and do damage to everyone in the area. Now you're also probably thinking, isn't that literally just a Scion shield that can be put on other people? But I can assure you that it's completely different because this shield, instead of just doing damage, also slows. Ivern's ult summons a shitty version of Tibbers that's named Daisy. Most of the time it just runs around like a dumbass while completely ignoring what you want it to do, but it's occasionally helpful when it decides to actually be functional and knock people up. As I said earlier, you're going to be starting off the build with an AP Skirmisher's jungle item. There isn't much point in camping in a bush trying to kill the other jungler if you have no damage because you built shitty support items. Next is Medjai's. It's important to have this for 2 reasons: to get the maximum efficiency out of all the kills you'll be getting, and to bait the other team into willingly trying to walk into your sex dungeon. After that, you're going to get a Nash's Tooth because it stacks well with the extra damage from your W and allows you to get the maximum damage out of your red smite. Another item you're going to want to pick up is a Xerot portal. Just place it somewhere near a bush to bait people into your shit-covered Viet Cong pitfall. Once they fall into your trap, welcome them to the Thunderdome by rooting them then pulverizing their boy hole with your exploding shield. This will usually work a few times before the retarded monkeys on the other team start suspecting anything. The final item you're going to get is a Blade of the Ruined King, because someone told me that item was broken right now, and I figured any other AP item would be a bit too viable on the build. Your boots are going to be either Ionian Boots of Lucidity or Sork Shoes, depending on what you need at the time. And also, don't forget to pick up a red trinket to make sure that you don't spend 2 minutes sitting in a bush that was warded the entire time. Since you're an AP burst assassin bruiser tank support AD carry whose sole purpose is to make the enemy jungler want to kill themselves and make the game into a 4v4, you're going to be counting on your teammates to actually win the 4v4. And in my personal experience, this comes with some less than unexpected results. Alright, I'm done with this video. Hopefully you guys have a bit more luck than I did.